So a warm welcome to this first podcast in a series in which we put the spotlight on extraordinary women. And especially on this remarkable day, because today is the SDG Action Day. And today I have the honor to host Lydia Yaako Donkor, Commissioner of Police, the Director General of the Criminal Investigation Department, and a month ago elected to serve a 4-year term on the newly established Interpol Africa committee. And that's really special because you're there, the first Ghanaian in the committee, and you're the only woman to serve in the committee as well. So a warm welcome, Lydia.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy.
And
Thanks for having me.
And congratulations on your Interpol appointment.
Thank you so much.
What an accomplishment.
Yes.
So if we may start with the SDG Flag Day, the Action Day. Of course, it's a really important day that we celebrate the set agenda, the 2030 goals that we all set as the UN member states. And for all of us, it's a call for action for a sustainable world for everybody. It's a call for action to people, planet, and prosperity. Do you have one special SDG flag that stands out for you?
So for us, law enforcement or as Ghana Police Service, definitely SDG 16 will stand out for us because it's incumbent upon us to ensure that safety and security is assured for citizens and people within our country space. And it's important because if development is going to thrive, since the SDGs exist for development, if development is going to thrive, it would have to be in a space where there's peace, there's security, there's safety, there's law and order. So I believe that law enforcement, or the Ghana Police Service in particular, has a huge role to play to ensure that this goal in particular, as well as other goals, are thriving. And we are in that business, and we do it on a daily basis. But for it to be classified under SDG, I believe that we are on the right track, ensuring that it's achieved. Yes.
Yeah, and I think I'm a woman from diplomatic background, so we're on the diplomatic field. And I think even the police force and diplomacy, we find each other under this flag. Because one part is also talking about strengthening relevant national institutions by including also through international cooperation.
Yes.
To build capacity and also to prevent violence and combat terror and terrorism and crime. So I think it's also together we're working on those institutions that function well to protect lives.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those strong institutions? And as a commissioner of police, especially, of course, what inspires you to build those strong institutions that find both national and international collaboration?
So what inspires me, obviously, the fact that I wear the uniform, and I've been wearing it for about 22 years.
Wow.
You know, just in June this year was about 22 years. And for me, it's a call to duty. It's an opportunity to serve my country and to serve the people of the country. And once you wear that uniform, automatically you have a responsibility. So for institutions, I would say that my institution, for example, the Ghana Police Service, has structures in place. We have the various units, departments that play various roles to ensure this peace and security, for example, is sustained. We don't do it alone. We obviously collaborate with other state institutions on the law enforcement side. And I would say that we have a good working relationship with our partners locally, internationally as well. And you mentioned my appointment on Interpol Africa Committee. Yes, so that is also an area that I would be expected to apply my position, on that committee to ensure that all of these roles are well sustained. And I think that we are doing quite well on that.
Yeah, and I think before we were talking, of course, I Googled you a little bit. And I think, because you're saying you're wearing the uniform for 22 years now already, and I think the start of your career was also focusing on gender for
Yes.
example, and minority groups.
Yes.
So how, even today, you started 22 years ago or even
Yes.
longer ago maybe, but
Yes.
how today also in your role, how is that playing a part to ensure their safety
So
within the rest of the community,
going
of
back
course?
to 22 years, I was a lawyer, or I'm still a lawyer, if I can say that. So I entered the police service as a lawyer, and if you Googled, I'm sure you saw that somewhere in my law practice, I worked at the Legal Aid Board in a region called Takoradi, or in the Western region, the capital Takoradi. Yes. So with that experience working at the Legal Aid Board, where you have to work for minorities, vulnerable people, women and children who need access to justice and can't afford it per se. So that experience carried through for my next stage in life of being a police officer. So with that, it's been a continued process. The areas in which I've worked obviously have always been ensuring that people are receiving justice as and when they need it. People are not violated in terms of their rights. And even if somebody is a criminal per se, his access to justice is assured, his human rights is protected. And now it's even more of a bigger responsibility because I have departments that are responsible for that area within my bigger department of criminal investigation. So we have quite a lot of work we are doing there, and we have results that we can be proud of. For example, in the work that our unit, which is responsible for domestic violence, So those are the areas in which I believe that we are really championing these goals. Yeah.
And I think that also helps those institutions. They also help to build trust between citizens and the police force. If they know
Yes.
they can turn to an institution and they feel safe with it, it helps them also to trust the institutions
Yes,
itself.
yes.
Do
I would say that yes, that's important because over the years there would be cases. Obviously, it's a human institution. There might be reports of people not having trust in the service because an issue has come up or a case has been reported, they have not been treated fairly and all of that. Those things are bound to happen, but as and when they happen, the good news is that they are corrected, or when we are aware, or if there's an area that has to be dealt with, it's done. And all around the country, we have disintegrated structures or units that handle all of those issues. So as and when anybody needs that service, there's somewhere you can go to, somewhere you can report for assistance, and then that is there. And even if you go to a place and you are not, or for example to a station, and you are not satisfied with the treatment, you don't have to put your hands up in the air and say you can't get help. There are other units, professional standards, for example, that are able to investigate cases of misconduct or unfair treatment from police officers and towards civilians. So the structures are there, the systems are there, and people should know that they can come to their service and get what they need. Yeah.
You said you really like to wear your uniform as well.
Although unfortunately now I don't get to wear it.
It's a pity
because of my current role. So yeah.
So what would you say, for example, as being a diplomat? I think to speak a little bit in police terms, maybe I think words are my most powerful weapon to work with as a diplomat. What would you consider your most powerful weapon that you have in your toolbox?
If you use the word weapon,
I thought it was nice to say it
because we work
maybe
with
it's
weapons.
not the right word choice.
we handle weapons, rifles, pistols, all of that. So I think going back to what I said earlier, the very fact that you wear the uniform, you appear in it. Even if you're not wearing the uniform, you have something to show that you wield certain authority, So the very fact that you are within that role, and the state or the government or law enforcement afford you that opportunity to perform that role. For me, that is the weapon I would say is works for me, and using that responsibility, or having that weapon, if I can use that word again, not to trample upon people's rights. For example, seeing it as a means by which people can benefit from your authority, and not to lord it over people. So using that position that you have to make sure that people benefit from it, and society becomes much better because of that authority that you wield. Yes.
So it really represents something for you, also your uniform.
Yes.
It represents, of course, authority, but also justice
Justice
for everybody.
And, yes, and the opportunity to make a change in people's lives.
I like that
just
one.
because of certain privileges you might have, or you might wield because you're in a position of authority, but you use it for people beneficially, if I can use.
Yeah. I like that, to make a difference as well, and to make a change. So if we can jump to Interpol as being the only female in the committee,
Yes.
how do you see this role, and how do you plan to make the difference there?
Okay, so that committee, it's just for you to know and for the audience to know that this is the very first. So it has never ever existed within the Interpol setup. So leaving Ghana a few weeks ago, we knew that this role or this committee was about to be set up, and they needed 8 members. So my officer, who is head of Interpol, was like, no, madam, you can do it. Let's go for it. Because people are going to bid for it. There's going to be voting, So we left Ghana not too worried, because we were thinking, okay, let's go and let's try it. But we kept asking, how many members? How many people have applied so far? So finally we found out that it was just about 8 people in all. And then the committee needed 8 members. And somehow we got there, and I happened to be the only female. But they had to go through several rounds of voting. And out of the 8 members, 4 of us can serve 4-year terms. And then the other 4 will serve 2-year terms. So the good news is that through the voting, I was elected. I was the last person to be picked to serve the 4-year term. So it was quite good. It's a good story, or good position for Ghana, because Ghana is back in Interpol, if I can put it that way. And we've done quite a lot of work as a service or as a country within the Interpol setup. And for my role going into this committee together with other members from Egypt, from Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Sudan, and a few other countries, basically we are going to be advising the Interpol Africa committee. There's a bigger regional committee, and that's our responsibility, among other things, and also to design projects for the bigger Interpol family. So we've been put together, and I believe in a few months or so we should be setting up our role properly. Yeah.
It's really impressive, actually, and it is even more impressive because if 7 countries nominated a candidate, some of them really missed out by not appointing a woman, right?
Yes.
As women, we can say that.
Yeah. Of course.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good opportunity and a good step from Ghana's side as well.
From Ghana, yeah.
To nominate you for this position. So in my Google search, I found out you're not the first special woman in your family.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I found out that your mom, Jane Christie Donkor, was the first female commissioner of police, and she was appointed in the year 2000.
Yes.
So how was that for you?
Okay.
Because you followed kind of her footsteps.
Kind of, yes, and we are still following.
Really?
So, yes. So the interesting thing is she wasn't just the first female commissioner, but first female deputy commissioner. So
Wow.
before she got to that rank, in the history of the service, if you're female, you get to the rank of assistant commissioner, that's where your career terminates. So through some hard work and pushing and breaking of glass ceilings, she was able to get promoted to the rank of deputy commissioner, and after that she got to the rank of commissioner of police. So she probably I would say um, inspired a lot of us women, not just me, because of what she did. We have a lot more women now coming through that rank as well, and it's good for us because although you have the proverbial male-dominated service, it's important to recognize that women have a role to play also in the service, because the gender is made up of male and female, and the work that we do cuts across male, females, so it's good for women to also see that they can rise up to that rank, be the best they can be, and compete with whoever is also on the table.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think there always needs to be a good diversity and a good gender mix in all layers of an organization. If we look at the numbers as well, we see that the Ghana Police Service has a female representation of 28%. They're a little bit older than numbers. It's from 2022, so I hope it increased by now.
I think it has to about 38 or so.
Oh.
Yes. So now for the total female population is about 14,560, and for senior female is about 515 or so.
Yeah.
So it's not the best, but gradually we are getting there.
Well, the thing is, if I have to be honest, because I looked up the Dutch numbers as well. So in the Dutch police officers is also 38% female.
Okay.
And then if we can compare it to your mom, so your mother was appointed in 2000 as the first commissioner of police.
Okay.
But in the Netherlands, the first commissioner of police was appointed in 1964.
Okay, so you did better than us.
Well, actually, no.
No?
No. Well, in that remark, yes. In that there was the first appointment much earlier than in Ghana.
Yes, much earlier, yeah.
But in the female representation, we're both on 38% now.
Oh.
So you're way faster than us.
Yes.
We're a little bit slow in the Netherlands.
I think you have to come and learn from us.
I think so, yeah. You see, there's already a good chance for collaboration.
Yes.
Yeah. But if we're talking about you just said also it's real male dominated, the police force, both in the Netherlands and in Ghana. With your career rising through the ranks, did you face any challenges as a female that you can say most probably your male colleagues did not have to encounter?
That's a tricky question. Tricky because I wouldn't say, honestly, I don't think I faced any challenges. I don't know, maybe I had some good luck somewhere or some angel watching over me or something, but I wouldn't consider challenges. I think it's been not too difficult coming in as a lawyer already, so I entered through the officer corps rank. So I entered at a space where I was already considered officer cadet even before I went into the training academy. So after the training school, coming out, I'd had to juggle through certain things, but eventually you go through, you get the work done, you move from one stage to another, and I think it all boils down to how an individual relates to his or her colleagues. If you are blessed to have colleagues who are good working colleagues, and depending on how you also prove yourself, I don't see them putting impediments in your way. So challenges, I wouldn't call them that, but I think I've been blessed, yes, because all around, all the way through, it's been a good collaboration in terms of all my colleagues that I've been working with, both senior, both junior, and also on the same level, yeah.
So then maybe how do you feel that you stand out? How do you stand out as a person or as a commissioner of police? How do you stand out in the police force that made them notice you and say, look, we're going to nominate you for the Interpol committee?
Okay. I think hard work and commitment to duty and realizing what you are in there for in terms of your role and your responsibility, approaching everything with all the every fiber of your being, not being lazy about work or tasks, basically being in a leadership position through pretty much my career, so, and when you have that, there's a responsibility on you. People are looking up to you to do certain things, and once you are at that level, obviously people below and those working with you will need to get things done. So if you're a leader, you would have to make sure that all that they need to get the work done, you get to do it for them. So that has been one of my key driving moments. Everywhere I've worked, I've always made it a point that the people who work with me or for me have whatever they need, so that things are not too difficult for them, so that when they have to approach their tasks, it's easy, and then they get the results. Because when they get the results, you as the leader get to have the good name. Although I don't do the nitty gritty, I don't go on the patrol, I don't go on the arrest, but what the patrol officer needs or what the investigator needs to get his work done, I ensure that, or I make it my duty to get all of those things available or for them. So for me, that's what has been my driving, and I see that it gets me the results. Yes.
That is also what is defining you as a leader.
And somebody with integrity, somebody who is committed to duty, who ensures that everybody around him or her feels part of the organization or of the department, not being a leader and lording it over people, because you might tend to do that because of, for example, because of law enforcement or police, you would obviously have a big rank, and you can have a big rank, but people shouldn't feel that you are using your rank to intimidate people. No. Even if somebody is junior, he has an idea about something, you should be accommodating and let people feel involved. So for me, that has been my style, and that's what has defined me. And I think so far it's working for me, and I guess that's what people above me noticed for me to get nominated, for example, into the role of Director General CID, and through that role I was able to get onto Interpol as well.
No, I can relate to that as well. I think in a team everybody has his role to play, and not one role is more important than the other.
Yeah.
Because we cannot function without each other.
Exactly.
And the best results we reach also with each other as a team. So in my leadership role, I always try to put the emphasis as well on the team.
Yes. As they say, teamwork makes the dream work. So
exactly. Yeah. And I think maybe it's also because of being Dutch, but I think it's also my personality. Okay. I think one important aspect of my leadership is also the honest conversation, which can be confronting sometimes as well. But it's good also if you have a team that's functioning really good. Yes. And achieving the ambitious goals that we always set for a team. It helps that you get to know each other really well, and you know where everybody's talent is and where what somebody is not so good at sometimes. And that helps then when you have this honest conversation. One thing in my leadership also is that I say it's allowed to make mistakes.
Okay.
Personally, I'm really good at that as well.
Okay.
So I'm setting a good example maybe, but I realize now that being a diplomat, maybe it's easier to say, that it's allowed to make mistakes, then how is that for a police officer, or how is that for a commissioner of police? How can you interpret it's allowed to make mistakes?
I think we are human, so we can't
True.
avoid, yes, we can't avoid mistakes, but the important thing is how you pick yourself up, or you guide your team to pick themselves up from that mistake, and then you learn lessons from them, and then you can improve, and then as much as possible ensure that it doesn't occur in the future, or even if it does, it's minimized, because once we are human, definitely, no, not everybody is perfect, not everybody is on the same level, but if you have that accommodating spirit, if I can use that word, and allow everybody to be who they are, and know that even if they make a mistake, it's a learning point. So I think yeah.
About learning, talking about learning, what I learned about you, what does football mean for you?
I see
Football is something.
You did a lot of Googling.
Maybe I did, yeah.
Football, I don't play football. I love to watch football. But now I'm also in another side of football, which is security related.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm the CEO of the Police Ladies Football Club, which is a team that plays in the Women's Premier League in Ghana. And I've been with them for a few years now. We struggled in the beginning, but last season was a good season for us. We won the championship, and then we had to go to West Africa in Cote d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it through to the very end, but it was a good learning scale for us as a team. And we are back again, ready to go into the new season. So they are quite good. So out in the team, we have women who are police women, others who are civilians who are not yet police, but it's our hope that they all get to wear the uniform. And then for the security side of football, I'm the head of safety and security for the Ghana Football Association, and also a member of safety and security for CAF, which is the African Confederation of African Football, which is the regional body for Africa that handles football. So what it means is that I go around the region to handle football matches. So I've done a few matches in Egypt. I've done a few matches in Cote d'Ivoire as well. So that's how I handle football, yeah.
But you don't play yourself?
No, I don't play. I've
What
just
sports
kicked a few times. But
No talent there.
No, I don't play.
So what sports do you play?
I wish I could answer that truthfully.
Oh, sensitive question. We're not going to cut it out.
No, it's okay. I just do my regular workouts, the gym, I go for a walk. But sports, when I was in school, secondary school, I think I did a 800-meter race. I think I came out last but one, I can't remember. Yes, but that's as much as I've done. No, I haven't done any. And then at school, you have to play hockey. And then what else?
Team sports.
Yeah, those team sports.
So
yeah.
I heard from a reliable source something about kickboxing.
Oh, is it kickboxing or is it just regular boxing?
I have no
Not
idea. I don't
kickboxing.
even know the difference. So
No. So boxing as part of my usual exercise regime. I tend to do some boxing sessions with my trainer sometimes, So just basically trying to keep fit. In law enforcement, if you're not fit, you'll not be able to chase after the criminals. So you always have to stay fit.
that's true as well.
Yeah.
But also in diplomacy, you have to stay fit because sitting
Exactly.
behind a desk all day is really not good for you.
True.
So,
Yeah.
but I keep it a little bit slower. I like to play tennis and golf.
Okay. Maybe I'll try golf one of these days.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really difficult. It looks so easy, but it's so frustrating.
Yeah. We'll see.
We're gonna have to try it together then one time.
Yes. If you invite me, I'll come. I have to get the special shoes and the clothing and all that, and then get the
and the material.
The materials, and
It's
I hear
quite
it's expensive too.
It's quite an investment.
We'll see.
And then you cannot blame the material for not hitting well. So it's always about your technique. So
Sure. Yeah.
So when we go back to our daily business, you're a commissioner of police. Of course, we already discussed your Interpol.
Yes.
But as a director general of the CID, what keeps you busy all day?
So my responsibility is huge. It's a daily thing. When you wake up and you're going to sleep, you have to be in tune with all your men and women on the ground, because the regions are 16 politically, but for the police, we have 25 regions, because some of the regions are split into two for us to get access to the populace much closer. So it's important that I'm communicating with them as and when very serious crimes occur, and even when crimes which are not considered so serious occur, at least I must have an idea what is happening around the country, and you tend to advise, direct, and as a headquarters, we coordinate with all of our colleagues in the regions on the ground, just to make sure that things are running smoothly. If they need assistance in handling a particular case or investigations, we have to send them support from headquarters and basically coordinate everything crime related within the country and even outside. So you mentioned Interpol, and even before Interpol, we also collaborate with our neighbors around the sub-region. We also collaborate internationally. Netherlands is one huge partner, and the US, UK, and all of that. So the role is huge. People say, welcome to the hot seat, but I think so far I'm managing it quite well.
I think you do. No, and I think you were just saying that you have to stay fit to catch the bad guys. And I think as a diplomat, I don't have to be fit because I don't have to catch any criminals, luckily. I don't think I would be good at it. But for us in the diplomacy, it's also crime is also becoming more and more important. For the Netherlands at this stage, West Africa is a really important region as well. In the Transnational Organized Crime theme, we see a lot of activities here in the region coming more and more, and you see West Africa being used as a route for drug transport coming from South America, going through Africa and then going towards Europe. The Netherlands, we have a few really large ports, and we have a lot of transport transactions going through those ports, but sometimes not always the best products inside then, of course. So even in diplomacy, we're really working on transnational organized crime. I think mostly because as a diplomat or as a police officer, we respect borders.
Yes.
But criminals, they don't see the borders.
No.
The world is one big place for them. So those cross-cutting border activities, we really have to collaborate on it together to fight criminality and to fight also those criminals, because we don't want them in the Netherlands. Ghana doesn't want them. So I think there is also an important partnership for Ghana and the Netherlands put aside. So in what ways do you see how we can strengthen this international cooperation also between Netherlands and the Ghana, but also maybe on a broader perspective also to fight organized crime?
Strengthen, I would say that the partnership is already in existence. We collaborate on a daily basis. We work with the NCB head in The Hague, together with the NCB in Ghana, and we share intelligence. We collaborate in terms of investigations, and the good thing is that you now have a police liaison attaché. I don't know how to call it. Yes,
liaison. Yeah.
Yes, Arhan is a good guy. He's come through my office a few times, and we've worked quite well with him, and the collaboration will continue because we are not a country in isolation. We are members of the UN, Interpol, Afripol, a lot of organizations. So member countries are expected. Once you are a member of these organizations, you have a duty to yourself and your neighbors within your borders or across your borders to ensure that your spaces are not being used to facilitate crime, but unfortunately, because people move across borders, we cannot stop crime from happening. So what it is that it behoves on us as law enforcement to ensure that the structures are in place, the expertise and the knowledge is available, so that as and when the crime occurs or if the crime moves into our space, we are able to deal with it and then not shield people, because you might think that, okay, the crime wasn't committed in your country, but if the person has run to yours from, let's say, the Netherlands, you have a duty to apprehend that person. So we have a good relationship with the Netherlands, and just as any other European country or other African country. And we collaborate a lot, especially in this area of vehicles being stolen across
Yeah.
borders. We have a good relationship. I'm expecting a visit from Digitpol this week or next week.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's one of the units in the Netherlands. Yes. So we're working together, and I think that the collaboration will just continue, just as we've started. Yes.
And it's good. It's good also that there's already infrastructure and a collaboration framework existing, mostly indeed on stolen vehicles,
Yes.
missing persons,
Yes.
Interpol requests.
Yes.
So we have a lot of. There's a good infrastructure already in place. But do you think countries collaborate enough to fight transnational organized crime, or do you think we need to do more?
I think we need to do more, and that's why we have bodies or committees like my Interpol Africa committee, which is an area which I plan to use to speak up more about all of this, because I think some individual countries are doing much better than others. I get feedback. This morning I had a visit from a team from Lyon, the Interpol headquarters. They are in town doing training, and they were really praising my officer who heads Interpol here, because they get a good response from her. And she was telling them that she's doing her best because of me, you know. So I got the sense that it's quite difficult in some other countries. So it'll be important for us to use our role, for example, on this committee, when we get to start working, to get other countries to respond more appropriately as and when the requests are made. Because if we don't collaborate, then it means you are letting your side down. And if we don't collaborate, how are you going to effectively control crime or reduce crime or make your space or the world a better place? So I think we need to do more in terms of regional bodies or international bodies when we have to fight it. Yes. Yes.
I'm really happy you said that you got compliments about your officer and that she was female.
Yes, she is.
And that you had a really good relationship with the international organizations that were involved. So in preparing for this podcast, I also Googled, I love Google, I also Googled some, what are the most famous female top criminals? And the funny part is that they're really rare.
Okay.
There's just a few. So that triggered me. And then I said, okay, now I need to find out why. So they also said, also in criminality, it's also a male-dominated sector, if we may call it like this. Maybe masculinity is also a part in this sector, that it's an important leadership skill. But there was one remarkable issue that they said in the field of human smuggling, there is a big part female criminals. There is a large female representative there. And why? Because in smuggling business, you need to have a broad network. And apparently us women were really good in building and maintaining a network. So that's on the criminal side. But they usually say it takes one to catch one. Not that the police needs to be criminal now, but maybe we can use those female skills of building and maintaining a network also to build this international network, to build this international infrastructure, to work and to collaborate together on fighting transnational organized crime. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, definitely. I would like to mention that on the policing side, we have an international association of women police that meets regularly, yearly, and I'm a member of that association. We just met in Glasgow. I just got back over the weekend
Yeah.
after a meeting in Glasgow. And when you go to such meetings, you meet policewomen from all over the world, from Thailand, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Tanzania, Australia, Canada. It was really interesting. The Netherlands, I think, Iceland as well. So what it is that we meet, we discuss, we share ideas, we network, So on that score, there's something that's being done. And that's quite helpful because when you get to meet your colleagues in a space, you exchange communication, phone number, email, things like that.
Yeah.
As and when you need something on another side, it's easy to contact somebody because you have met on a global level. So it's interesting because when I was in Glasgow, I met a police officer from South Africa. She's the director of operations, and she reminded me that she was looking at me and she thought, I look familiar. And because in Glasgow for the first day I was wearing a uniform because you have to do like wear your uniform day for the first day. And she was thinking, I look familiar. Then she said, yes. I was thinking. Then she said, we met in Cape Town. Because her country hosted the Interpol Africa committee. Then she says, yeah. Then she reminded me that she voted for me, and I was like, okay, that's nice. Thank you for the vote. So it was just interesting that a few weeks before I was in Cape Town, I met her. Now, a few weeks after that, we met in Glasgow. So it's important for us. And for us on law enforcement female, I think it's a good work space. And on the African side, too, we have our regional association as well. So it works for us, yeah.
So maybe we are allowed to conclude that both the Ghana police force and the Dutch police force, of course, as well, but also the diplomatic community, they need more women like us.
Of course,
to make a difference and to give a female perspective.
Yes.
So from your side, if you talk to the younger Ghanaian women here in Ghana, can you share some practical advice to them if they want to enter the police service? How will they succeed? What do they need? Do you have any advice for them?
It's just a simple advice that being a police woman or being a police officer is an opportunity to serve your country, because I mentioned in the beginning that you wear a uniform, you have a rank, you have a badge. It gives you the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of the citizens. So if you are concerned, or if you would like to serve your country in any capacity, I think law enforcement should be an avenue that a young lady should think about. Growing up traditionally, when you ask any average young person what you want to be in future, they always say a doctor or a lawyer. Nobody mentions a policeman or policewoman, or even a fire officer or corrections or prisons officer. But these are all roles that I believe that people should get to understand and know that it's something that if you want to make a change or make a difference in your own life and that of others, it's a good opportunity to serve. And it's not just about serving, it's about serving with integrity, as our motto says in the police service with integrity. And if we have a huge majority of us serving with integrity, I think it would make a difference. Because I was looking at the notes, and SDG 16 is talking about sustainable development, but you can't have development if there's no peace and security within your country. And that's the only way that development will thrive. If people can go about their businesses not fearing that I'm operating late in the night, somebody is going to attack me, or I'm walking down some road, I'm closing up my business in the evening and I'll be attacked. So it's good for anybody watching or listening to me or seeing me, knowing that I can be a policewoman like her. because it's a good feeling. And I think that we need more and more young women, even men, to also come into the service, because the balance always has to be there. We mentioned that the numbers are not that good, but I think if people are interested, they should know that it's an opportunity to serve. So you study hard at school, get a good grades, and then you can study further, improve upon whatever you want to do, and come in at a later stage as a professional or as a police officer from scratch, the way I came in. So
I think it's a wonderful advice, and maybe if I may add to it from my side, I would like to say to the younger women, we're not that old yet, a little bit younger women.
But we're in the same age bracket.
I'm months older than you, so
just 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just 3.
Yeah.
So.
No, but if I may add to that, I think it's really important also speak up. And if you are functioning in a male-dominated surrounding, don't start speaking the same language, but keep giving this female perspective as well, because we need a different sound, we need a different voice, and your voice matters. You should not adjust to the male-dominated society, but they need to be pulled a little bit towards the other side, maybe. So I think, therefore, it's really important to keep giving this female perspective. So speak up. I think that's the advice I would like to add to your wonderful advice.
I think
already.
So. Yes.
So,
that's good.
You have any final last words that you would like to share?
I think I mentioned in the beginning, this is my very first podcast.
Yes, you did.
Interesting to see how it went, and I think it's a good opportunity for people to see or listen to us, and with our discussion, hopefully it will change perception, about certain roles. It would encourage people to want to be like us or even better, and people always tell me, you're my role model, you're this and that and that. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing something quite good. So hopefully we'll get many more people to aspire to be in diplomatic service or in law enforcement. And through that, definitely you will be making a change within your society or your country as a whole. So I think we should just keep doing what we are doing, and hopefully one day in history our names will be written somewhere that we made a change.
Who knows?
Yes.
And now you can add also to your list, you're really good at recording a podcast.
Yes. I've made history. I've recorded my first podcast.
No, so maybe I can close this down by saying that, having said all of this, I think it's important to know that everybody has a role to play. And whether that is as a citizen or an institution or international partner, but we have to build a safe and just and inclusive society. And I think that's important for everybody. And by strengthening our collaboration or any collaboration, upholding accountability and protecting also the most vulnerable people among us, especially also women and children. I think Ghana and the Netherlands were showing that it's possible, that when countries work together and unite on the SDG 16 that we have been talking about as well, that we can build a future where everybody can thrive.
Yes.
So, dear Commissioner of Police, dear Lydia,
dear Wendy,
thank you for this conversation.
You're welcome.
And of our both commitment to keep working together. And I'm really looking forward to a safe and peaceful future, and maybe our modest contribution to this.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.